about the network protocols. Protocols are the set of rules you have to follow when transmitting data over the network. The first one is the TCP/IP protocol, that is the Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol. We have already learned that in order to send messages over a network, first the messages have been divided into packets, and when it reaches the destination, these packets get reassembled. So, the dividing the message into packets and the reassembling of the packets is done by the Transmission Control Protocol, and it also verifies whether all the packets reached at the destination or not. Now next is the IP, that is the Internet Protocol. It helps to move data from one computer to another, and each packet is having an IP address. So when a packet is lost, it is easy to track the packet based on the IP address. Now next is the FTP. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, and it helps to transfer files over the internet. Now next is the HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Listen, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is a set of rules for transferring the hypertext on World Wide Web. For example, consider your Facebook homepage. In your Facebook homepage, there will be photos, there will be audios, there will be videos, there will be a lot of graphics, there will be chatting, there will be text, there will be a lot of things. So when all these things, sound, video, audio, image, graphic, text combined together, it is known as an hypertext. And in your Facebook page, sometimes you will give comments. In order to give the comments, you need the help of an hypertext transfer protocol. And in order to send requests, you need the help of an hypertext transfer protocol. In order to get a friend request, you need the help of a hypertext transfer protocol. And there is also a protocol called HTTPS. That means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. In the search bar, sometimes you will give www.google.com or www.youtube.com. Before that, you can see HTTPS, or sometimes you can see a lock in green color. That means that web page is secure. You are not able to save anything from that page without logging into the page like that. So, in order to transfer the data on World Wide Web, you need the help of an hypertext transfer protocol, and it consists of request and response that we have already learned in the client server process. We will send a request to the server, and the server will process the request, and based on the request you will get the response. For this all you need the help of an HTTP. Now next is the PPP, that is the point-to-point protocol for delivering the IP packets. Now next is the SMTP. SMTP stands for the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. In order to send mails, you need the help of SMTP. Now next is the POP3. That is the Post Office Protocol version 3 or Post Office Protocol 3. It is used to receive the mail and stored in the inbox. That means when a person sends you a mail and it will be stored in your inbox. In order to store the mail in the inbox, you need the help of the protocol POP3. Now next is the Telnet. Telnet is used for remote login or accessing remote computers. For example, in our school, network administrators are there, and our school is having a small network. So in order to control all the computers in a network, the the Telnet protocol is used. Once again I will say, in order to control the computers in a network, we need the help of a Telnet. So the network administrators, by sitting in their room, they can control the computers over the network. So this can be done with the help of Telnet. Now next is GSM. It stands for Global System for Mobile Communication. It is the standard given for the digital cell phones. And next is the Wireless in Local Loop, WLL. That is used for public switch telephone network by using radio signals. You can see the codeless phones, parallel phone speakers and all. In that, the sound quality will be high, and it will provide all the services like wired phone. So that is the wireless and local loops in which we will use the radio signals. Next is the GPRS. GPRS means General Packet Radio Service. Before the Wi-Fi and before the Wi-Fi and all, we are using the GPRS, General Packet Radio Service, which provide wireless communication for our mobile device. And by this we can access the internet, send emails and large data. Now next is Voice over Internet Protocol. In order to enable voice communication over the internet, we will use Voice over IP. Voice and video conferencing can be done using this protocol. Now next is Wi-Fi. It stands for Wireless Fidelity. It helps to connect to internet without a direct line from your PC to ISP. ISP means Internet Service Provider. That means the person who provides internet for you. If BSNL is providing internet for you, that is BSNL is the internet service provider. If IDEA is providing, IDEA is the internet service provider. That is the ISP, and Wi-Fi helps to connect internet without a direct cable line. Now next is the Wi-Fi hotspot. It is a venue that offers Wi-Fi access. Now next we are going to learn about WiMAX. WiMAX means it provides broadband wireless access. It is a device to get the Wi-Fi signals. For example, when we are using Wi-Fi in our home, we will get the Wi-Fi over a small area. In order to get the Wi-Fi over a large area, you can use WiMAX. So for fixed station, the WiMAX can be used up to 50 km, for mobile station 5 to 15 km, and for LAN network 30 to 100 meter. So these all are about networking protocols and Wi-Fi WiMAX.